Have you ever wondered what really connects all of Elon Musk's companies? You look at X, Starlink, AI, space travel, and it can seem pretty random. But it's not just about business. Today, we're going to climb what you could call Musk's ladder of abstraction to uncover the one single philosophy that ties all of it together, from what you see on your phone to, well, the nature of reality itself.
So where does a journey like this even begin? Well, to get Musk, you have to go all the way back to this one fundamental question that he says has bugged him since he was a kid. Why are we even here? What's the whole point of everything? And look, this isn't just some passing thought for him. It's the philosophical engine that powers every single thing he does.
And his answer? Well, it's not what you think. It's not about money. It's not about fame. It's actually a single, really grand mission that sits underneath everything he builds. A massive quest to just understand the universe a little bit better.
Okay, so how do you even start a quest that big? Well, Musk thinks the key is to expand what he calls human consciousness. Think of it like this. One person can't build a rocket tomorrow, right? But a whole civilization can. He sees all of humanity as one giant distributed brain, and his goal is to basically upgrade its processing power.
He has a great way of explaining this, and it comes from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You know the story. A giant supercomputer figures out the answer to life, the universe, and everything is 42. The only problem? Nobody knows what the original question was. Musk's whole point is that the universe is the answer. Our job is to get smart enough to figure out what the right questions are in the first place.
All right, so that's the big picture mission. It's pretty out there. But how is he actually trying to do it on the ground? Let's get into the actual tools he's building, because these aren't just separate companies. They are all interconnected pieces of a single infrastructure he's designing for this global mind.
Okay, let's start with X. Musk is really clear about his vision here. He wants to avoid what he calls dopamine-generating brain rot. So, instead of just another mindless entertainment app, he's trying to build a real global town square. A place that acts almost like a nervous system for all of humanity, where ideas can fly around the planet and get translated instantly.
And then you've got Starlink. Now, this isn't just about getting faster internet so you can stream movies. It's the actual physical plumbing for that global consciousness we just talked about. By covering the entire planet in high-speed internet, especially the places that never had it, he's making sure every single person can plug into that global brain. It's a truly unified nervous system.
So once humanity is all connected up, sharing information better than ever, what's the next big jump? Well, according to Musk, it's AI. And he thinks it's going to completely rewrite the rules of our entire society.
And this leads to what is probably his most shocking prediction. He believes that in less than 20 years, maybe even sooner, AI and robots will be so advanced that work, as we know it, just becomes optional. It'll be something you do as a hobby, for fun, but not because you need it to survive.
So, just think about that for a second. If AI and robots can make anything and provide any service we want, what happens to our economy? Musk says that money is really just a system for keeping track of human labor. So if you don't need human labor anymore, what happens to money itself? He thinks the whole concept might just become obsolete. And you can actually see the pieces for this future clicking into place right now when you look at how his companies are all starting to work together. Tesla? It's not just a car company, it's a real-world AI and robotics company. SpaceX is building transportation that can fly itself. And his new company xAI is building the digital brain. They're all different pieces of this post-scarcity puzzle. The end game here, it sounds like something straight out of science fiction. We're talking about a future with self-sufficient, solar-powered AI systems that can mine asteroids in space and then build more of themselves. It's a cycle of abundance that just keeps growing, completely on its own, with no human labor and no money needed.
Okay, so with work and society totally transformed, we can finally climb to the very top rung of Musk's philosophical ladder. And this is where it gets really, really weird. The nature of reality itself.
To get his point across, Musk uses this really simple but powerful analogy. Think about video games. 50 years ago, we had Pong. Literally, just two rectangles and a dot. Today, we have these massive, photorealistic online worlds. So if you just follow that line of progress, it seems pretty much inevitable that we'll create virtual realities that are completely, 100% indistinguishable from the real world.
And that leads to the really mind-blowing conclusion. If civilizations can create billions or trillions of these simulated realities that are perfect copies of the real world, and there's only one original base reality, what are the odds that we happen to be in that one and only original? Musk puts the probability at 1 in billions. He thinks it's almost a certainty that we're living inside a simulation.
Okay, wow. So we just went from the meaning of life all the way to living in a giant cosmic video game. Let's bring it back down to Earth for a minute. What's the actual advice he gives to people trying to do something useful today?
At the end of the day, it all comes down to this really simple principle. It doesn't matter what the future holds, whether we get an age of abundance or not. Your mission right now is super straightforward. Create more than you consume. Just be a net positive for humanity.
And that brings us right back to where we started. Musk's whole journey kicked off with a search for meaning. So it feels right to end this by turning one of his biggest questions back to you. In the future that he sees coming, a world with everything you could ever want, but no need for work, what's going to